Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. Now that February is finally over, we're finally out of the drought of the 2024 first 2 months, because January wasn't great. February seemed even more worse than January. I mean, we had Argyle, we had Madam Web. We didn't have a lot of great movies in February, but we're now in March. So it's time to talk about all the new movies and big TV shows coming out in March. There's a lot coming out. I looked at the list. We got over like 15 things coming out this month, so I'm going to show you guys a poster of it by me, show you a little bit of footage from the thing that's coming out. But as I said, it's going to be a good month. We're finally hitting that time of year where we're going to start getting stuff every month, a lot of great stuff. So hopefully we can get our first 5-star movie of the year. But on March 1st, the first day of the month, we're going to be getting Dune Part 2. By the time you're watching this, I have already seen this. The review is probably out on the channel, but I am so hyped for this movie. I'm recording this before I'm seeing it, so I'm just getting very excited to watch this movie in a couple days. But this movie is going to be the first, big must-see blockbuster of the year. If you didn't enjoy Part 1, I think you'll find a lot to enjoy about Part 2. Early reactions are absolutely insane. I talked about them on my channel, but this movie is going to be killer. This second half of the book has more action in it, more, it's more about love too. It's, we get to see Austin Butler's Fade Route. That's going to be very insane. And just, it looks like a spectacle. Greg Fraser looks like he's hitting, Denis Villeneuve looks like he's hitting it at the park. I might do a Denis Villeneuve film ranking after this. Just have to watch 2 more movies from his, but I cannot wait for it. It's going to be amazing. I gotta say, give the first movie a chance. Even though you might think it's boring, just go along with it. Watch a video explaining it, and then go into Part 2. You're going to love it even more. I can already feel it. These 2 movies are just going to fit together so well. But Doom Part 2 is going to hit. Next up, we got Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate. This is a Peacock original. And this really caught everyone off guard when the trailer first came out, because people thought it was going to be like, I don't know, people thought it was going to be like a Megamind 2. I kind of thought it was, because why haven't we got a Megamind 2 yet? Straight up Megamind 2. Megamind, the first one was so great. But then this one came on, and it's not even the same, voice actors. It's so different. The animation looks pretty ugly. I gotta say, it's just for kids, so I'm not really gonna harsh on it. I might watch it just for fun, just to, say it's a bad movie. But if you have kids, I guess this is a movie to put on for them during March. It's, a kids movie on streaming. If you have Peacock, I guess watch it, but don't expect anything great from this. I think I'm gonna watch it just for the laughs. But yeah, it's one that's going to cause ultimate whiplash if you have seen the first Megamind and are expecting something like that. So yeah, it's probably just going to be for the kids. Last up on March 1st, we got Spaceman. This is coming to Netflix. This is the newest Adam Sandler Netflix movie, because all he does is kind of work with Netflix now. But I will say, this one looks great. This one looks like it's going to be on the level of Hustle. If you haven't seen Hustle from Adam Sandler, I think that came out in 2022. It was a basketball movie. Oh, that one was great. I love that movie a lot. And this one looks right up my alley. I love science fiction, and it's got Paul Dano playing like a giant spider. You got Carey Mulligan playing Adam Sandler's wife. He's trying to make it home to her. It looks very cool. I forget who's directing it, but I think it's a director that I know. But it looks very good. It's Adam Sandler going for drama again, so I think it's going to be great. When he went for drama with Uncut Gems, that was great. When he went for drama with Hustle, that was great. So I'm expecting great things from this one. Next up on March 3rd, we have The Regime coming to HBO Max, also known as Max. But this is going to be the newest, every Sunday hitting Max, every Sunday night. I watched the trailer for this one just to get ready for this video. I'll show you a couple scenes from it. I wasn't that impressed from it. It has Kate Winslet in it. It looks okay, but I'm really not going to go out of my way and watch this every Sunday. Maybe when it finally all drops, every episode drops, and I've heard good things, maybe I'll go back to it. But it's not a show on Max that I'm really looking forward to. I think a lot of women are going to like this show a lot more than a lot of men. I'm kind of waiting for Max to do The Sympathizer, which is coming in April. But Kate Winslet is in this show. If you want to watch the trailer, it looks interesting, but it's not really something that I'm really interested in. On March 7th, we have one I'm very excited for, which is called Ricky Stenicki. This is coming to Prime Video. This is the newest, comedy with Zac Efron, John Cena. This is gonna be great. And when I first saw this trailer pop up, I thought this was like gonna be such a crappy comedy. Zac Efron's gonna be back in a crappy comedy with John Cena, because John Cena does those Vacation Friends movies on Hulu, which I think are just utterly terrible. So I thought it was gonna be crap. I watched the trailer and I was like, like, oh my god, this is actually hilarious. I love what they're doing here. And if you haven't seen the trailer yet, I gotta tell you, go watch the trailer. I mean, it is gonna be rated R, so just watch out for that. But this looks utterly terrific, and I think that John Cena is really playing up the gag of the Ricky Stenicki gag, which you'll find out in the trailer what that gag is. But I think it's a pretty smart gag. Zac Efron's coming up hot after the Iron Claw, so I'm very excited for this one. I think it's gonna be very funny. On March 8th, it's a very busy day. You got like 5 things coming out that day. The first one is called Cabrini, which is, one I'm not familiar with. I watched the trailer. I probably won't go see. It's from Angel Studios, I think, who made Sound of Freedom. So if you're interested in that studio, if you're interested in this movie, go see it. I think I looked at the runtime. I think it's like 2.5 hours, which is really long for this type of movie. It looks pretty slow. So yeah, I'm probably not going to see it. Maybe I'll wait for streaming to watch it. But if you're interested in the movies from Angel Studios, that one's coming out March 8th. Then we have a new horror flick coming out, which is called Imaginary. This one's the newest one from Blumhouse. Hopefully it's not as bad as Night Swim, because that was terrible. This one is the one about the bear, and like this bear has like alternate dimensions, and then this bear at the end turns into like a really big bear, really scary bear. I don't really know what's going on there. I like the song that they play in the trailer. That's about it. I mean, I'm gonna go see it because it releases on the same weekend as Kung Fu Panda 4, so I think that'll be a cool double feature. But yeah, hopefully it's scary. Night Swim wasn't scary. I'm keeping the expectations low because Blumhouse has been letting me down lately. But yeah, new horror film coming out. Finally getting a new horror film. Then same day, as I said, we got Kung Fu Panda 4. I will say I'm getting less excited for this one as it starts coming out sooner because the marketing has been really weak for this one. I don't know what DreamWorks and Universal are doing with this. We've only had one, at the time I'm filming this, which is about 2 weeks before the movie comes out, we've only had one trailer for this movie and TV spots. That's really odd. Usually movies have 2 trailers by now within a month of the release of the movie. Madam Web only had 1. This one's only having 1. I don't understand the decision making in that because this is a big kids movie. This is the first big kids movie since Migration all the way back in December. And, you'd benefit from having 2 major trailers released from this one. The first trailer actually looked pretty decent. Elect the Furious 5 had Awkwafina in it, which is, I don't know how annoying her character is going to be in this film. But come on, at least release a second trailer, at least like a minute and a half. I don't know what they're doing with this. The marketing's been, pretty weak. But, I'm still going to see it. It's the decisions that DreamWorks has been, not DreamWorks, I guess that is DreamWorks, but Universal has been making lately are just really interesting. Then in a limited release, we have this movie called Love Lies Bleeding. This is the newest A24 movie, so expect a really bad, release schedule. A24, they got to get their act together. They release a movie limited and then it doesn't come wide for like another 2 more months. I don't really get that. It just doesn't make sense. This one looks like a very hard R kind of action muscle kind of movie, I'll say. I forget who's in this movie, but I've heard some good things from the film festivals. I think this one premiered at Sundance in person, not online, so I think some people did see that. I've heard a decent amount of good things from this film, but yeah, it's gonna be hard R, so watch out for that. But the trailer did get my attention just a little bit. Then the last movie is gonna be Damsel, coming to Netflix. This is the newest Netflix big blockbuster action movie that probably isn't gonna be great. This one has Millie Bobby Brown. I guess she's only working with Netflix. It's kind of interesting what she's doing there. I will say it looks okay. I didn't bother watching the second trailer. I just recorded it for this video, so I'm probably gonna have to watch it. I'm not expecting anything major from this. I do like Millie Bobby Brown and the Enola Holmes movies. I think those are pretty sweet movies. There's nothing really major going on in those. I think, those work for what they are. This one, as an action movie, I'm expecting a little bit more, so I'll probably be more disappointed. But the VFX look okay. I think the costumes look okay for her. But I'd like Millie Bobby Brown just to expand her range a little bit. Get outside of Netflix. Because that's all I think of her is like a Netflix actress. I think she needs to do a little bit more. But, this one is the biggest movie coming to Netflix this month. On March 15th, we have 3 movies coming out. These are all theater movies. And the first one is Arthur the King. This one stars Mark Wahlberg as he goes on like this. I forget. It's a big race. I forget what the race is called. But it's a true story about him finding a dog along the way. And they're going with the dog. Simu Liu is in this movie also. Happy to see him in a bigger movie again. I think he's a cool guy. So, Mark Wahlberg, he's been in some interesting movies as of lately, and not, the best ones. This one looks like a feel-good movie. I gotta say, every time the trailer comes on when I'm in the theater, I'm actually really, enjoying my time. I think that Mark Wahlberg in these kind of movies, kind of works a lot more than, his other movies. If it's just a feel-good movie, if it just goes along and I'm enjoying it, if it's just, that kind of movie, I'll have fun with it. It doesn't need to be anything more than that. If it's just a true story, and if it makes me feel good, I'll have fun with it. Next up, on March 15th, we have the American Society of Magical Negroes. Yeah, that's the actual title of the movie, and it kind of is, a handful to say. I think that title might turn a little bit of people off, but I saw the trailer for this one, and I'm actually pretty excited for this one. This one does have Justice Smith in it. I think he's a really underrated actor. And he's going to be also in another movie releasing this year. I forgot what it's called, but it's another movie that premiered at Sundance, and I heard a lot of great things from it. This one, I only heard lukewarm things, but I'm still pretty interested because I did like the premise from the trailer. And I will say, watch the trailer for this one because I think it looks pretty interesting. And as I said, I feel like he's a very underrated actor. I feel like I like what they're doing here. It's kind of like a romance, kind of like deals with magic, as I said. Kind of deals with, a lot of decision making, and, life around decision making. So I think that this one will fly under the radar, but I'm actually really looking forward to this one. And last movie on that day is One Life. This is the newest true story with Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins, I think I don't know. I don't know if he said he's gonna retire soon, but I think he's getting closer. Because not gonna lie, I'm not trying to be rude by saying this, but he's getting pretty old to be acting, a full acting kind of major role, and this is kind of a major role for him. So I'm pretty surprised he's actually gonna be continuing these major kind of roles because I'm pretty sure he's getting close to retirement. This is a true story. I have seen the trailer. I think it looks alright. If you have seen it, I think this also was the Regal Mystery movie. I don't know what the reception is of that because I didn't go. But One Life is last movie coming out March 15th. On March 21st, we have the Roadhouse kind of remake coming to Prime Video. Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor also in this movie. I have not seen, at the time of recording this, I have not seen the original Roadhouse. I'll probably watch it before watching the new one. But I saw the trailer for this movie and I think it looks like a lot of fun. I mean, I'm saying that with, Jake Gyllenhaal being one of my favorite actors working today. I think he's a really great, especially Nightcrawler, Prisoners. He's so good in Prisoners. A lot of other great movies. I haven't seen Donnie Darko, but I heard he's great in that. But, I saw the trailer for this and I was like, this just looks badass. I just love how he's just beating people up. Then you have Conor McGregor just coming in acting exactly like Conor McGregor acts. Like he's not even putting on a role. It's just Conor McGregor in here. Seeing Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor fight at the end of that trailer was hilarious, but I'm eating up at the same time. I'm like, this is cool. I mean, I'm not sure how great the movie is going to be, but it looks cool. But this movie has a little bit of drama around it because supposedly the director wanted this to go to, theatrical, which I wish it did, but it's just going to come to streaming. So they're, Prime Video and the director kind of fighting over it. Supposedly the director did not go to his own premiere because of that argument, but supposedly, they fought about budgets and all that, and the budget that they got was for streaming. So it's a lot going on, but I wish it was going to theaters, but Roadhouse is coming to streaming on March 21st. Then on March 22nd, we have 3 major movies coming out. Actually, 2 major movies and 1 re-release. The re-release is Luca. This is, the third and last Disney Pixar movie that's going to be re-released because it didn't get released in theaters during COVID. And I will go see this one. This one's great. I love Luca a lot. It's probably one of the most underrated Pixar movies, I would say. I remember watching this when it came to Disney Plus for the first time because it didn't get released in theaters. I watched it with my mom for the first time. It was such a great experience. I really love the story that they told with this one. Such a simple Pixar film, but it really does belong in your like top 15, top 10. I think it's really that good. I love the animation, love the story, love the ending, love the cast in this one. So yeah, if you haven't seen Luca yet, I mean, go watch it with a re-release in theaters or just go watch it on Disney Plus. I think it's a great one. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire is finally coming out, and it's coming out in March, but its title is Frozen Empire. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but I guess they couldn't push it back all the way to December. But yeah, I will say I don't know how good this one's going to be because I did think Ghostbusters Afterlife was actually really good. I love I love the reintroduction of the Ghostbusters. I love the original crew coming back, at least, the ones that are still alive, rest in peace. But I will say, I don't know if this one's going to be better than Afterlife. It's cool how they're back to New York and all that, back to the, old house, and I'll say the firehouse and all that. But a lot of people are in this movie. They're trying to share the cast of new and the old, and then they're bringing in new people that weren't in Afterlife. So it's a lot of people in this cast. I don't know how well that's going to go over. But I think the trailer looks pretty funny. I love the new cast, love the old cast, but I don't think it's going to be better than the Afterlife. I'm holding out hope it might as well. I'm holding out hope that it's at least as good as Afterlife, but I don't know. It's it's just a weird movie coming out in March. Frozen Empire. But yeah, I feel like it's cool to have the old cast back for the whole movie. That's all I'll say. But I'm keeping my expectations in check for this one. The last movie on March 12th is Immaculate. This is a Sydney Sweeney horror movie from Neon. So this one might be limited, or it might be worldwide on March 22nd. I didn't really get that full information. But this is another horror movie that involves nuns. I watched the trailer and I was like, oh, Sydney Sweeney horror movie? Then I saw her as a nun. I'm like, oh my god, not another nun movie. Because I swear, every single horror movie that we're getting lately is just about nuns. I mean, I get it, that kind of like culture and society, nuns and all that we're believing in, but it's so annoying just to get another horror movie just about nuns being like haunted and all that. I feel like we need to really expand the range, find some new ideas, because this nun crap is getting kind of old. But I will say the trailer actually looked pretty interesting. Sydney Sweeney looks like she's doing a great job here, because her acting in Madam Web was just a little weird. Yeah, but I was actually kind of scared during the trailer a little bit. So, I think it could be good. I think this might be the best horror movie of the month, but it's coming at the end of the month, but we're going to have to wait. But why do we have so many horror movies that involve nuns? I think it's too much. Then on March 29th, we have Godzilla x Kong, The New Empire. This is the last major movie coming out this month. And I will say, I'm very excited for this movie. I have a lot of fun with these, Godzilla kind of legendary franchise movies. Because this isn't anything like Godzilla -1, which was terrific. Don't be expecting anything like that in this. This is going to be more in the lines of Godzilla vs. Kong, Godzilla King of the Monsters, Kong Skull Island. I gotta say, they're not great movies, but I have so much fun with these movies watching them in the theaters. I remember seeing Godzilla King of the Monsters in theaters. I thought that was just such a fun time. I wasn't able to see Godzilla vs. Kong in theaters and wasn't able to see Kong Skull Island in theaters. But just watching those on my TV, it's just such a fun time, especially Kong Skull Island. I have a lot of fun with that. I think that movie is shot so well. And, Godzilla vs. Kong, I think the ending is actually so fun. Them fighting Mechagodzilla. So yeah, I just have a lot of fun with these movies and seeing them team up in this one versus the two new villains, Shimu and Scar King. That's gonna be so cool. And then there's like a mini Godzilla fighting them. The newest trailer came out, and I was just, I was like, this is so stupid, but it's just ultimately so fun. I think they do such a great job with the visual effects too. I think the movies actually look really good with all, the lightning storms. Godzilla's just, gamma ray kind of going on, and then just Kong looks so cool in these movies. His fur just looks so real. He's huge. He's massive. I love the scale that they're going with for here, and I love how they just cause havoc at the end of the movies and they just kill the whole city basically. They take down so many buildings. Yeah, it's not going to be a great movie, I'll say that, but it's going to be fun to witness this on IMAX. Just Kong and Godzilla finally teaming up, taking down the two other new villains. It's going to be cool. The trailer looked pretty fun. So yeah, those are all the new major movies and TV shows coming out in March. We're finally here. We're finally to a good month. March is going to be really good for movies. I can already feel it. TV, on the other hand, it doesn't feel like there's a lot coming out for TV. At least nothing that I really mentioned, because I didn't see anything major coming out for TV. But movies, it's going to be so much better than February and January. We're finally in a great month for movies. So let me know down in the comments, what movies are you most excited for in March? For me personally, Dune Part 2, Godzilla, and probably the other one, I'd probably say Rick is Stenicki. I need a good comedy in my life, so that's what I'm most excited for. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe to the channel when we're to 600 subscribers, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.